It is another news day. Good morning. This is Mervyn Hanley at THG News Today on THG Network. I'm happy to be in your company this morning. The news, of course, is powered by Carl & Son's unique bakery on St. Maarten with 3 locations on the island. And we have Feezes on Nevis, also Hanley's Plumbing on Nevis. If you have not done so already, or if this is your first time joining us here on the network, on THG Network, I ask and encourage you to please subscribe to our news channel so that you don't miss a beat. You don't miss what's happening here on the channel. Let's begin this morning with news out of the British Virgin Islands. Premier, the Honourable Dr. Natalio Wheatley, has suggested that government ministers should have absolute authority over their respective ministries, making it clear that they should be answerable to the public, not civil servants or other unelected officials. During a debate on the Public Service Management Bill, Dr. Wheatley pointed out that the current system allows for too much ambiguity regarding who holds the power and responsibility within government ministries. He noted that this often leads to a situation where ministers are held responsible by the public for decisions they have little control over. Dr. Wheatley raised concerns that while the public can vote out ministers during elections, they cannot hold other key figures, such as the governor or deputy governor, accountable if they fail to perform their duties. This, he argued, creates a gap in accountability within the government. Ministers of government are not their own bosses. Their bosses are the people of the Virgin Islands. Dr. Wheatley said, when the people of the Virgin Islands want to hold them accountable, they'll send them home if they have to. But can the people of the Virgin Islands send the governor home? Can the people of the Virgin Islands send the deputy governor home? According to the BVI News, the Premier shared an anecdote from his early days as minister, highlighting that the perception among some public officers that the real power in a minister lies with the permanent secretary, not the minister. A public officer working in the ministry just said to me in confidence, the permanent secretary is really the one who runs the ministry. That's the perception, the Premier said, adding that this perception can create obstacles for ministers trying to implement their directives. The Public Service Management Bill seeks to formalize ministerial authority, making it absolutely clear and removing ambiguity. He stressed the importance of establishing a system where ministers can directly engage with and receive advice from their technical experts rather than solely relying on the permanent secretary. Some have the perception that the minister should only engage a permanent secretary, but the permanent secretary is an administrator. The minister needs to be advised by his technical experts, explained. The Premier used the example of the governor being advised by the police and the Minister of Education needing direct advice from the Chief Education Officer, rather than having all communication filtered through the permanent secretary. And if you do not know, or if you did not remember, of course, this is a concern because the British Virgin Islands is still under the British rule. They are British overseas territory. So that is why they are trying to put this bill in place, the Public Service Management Bill, that will formalize ministerial authority. Imagine you being a minister and a permanent secretary running the show. Really? Where? Now, let's move on to news from St. Maarten. We did report to you on Monday, I believe it was, that the Honourable Silveria Jacobs, who is, for now, the leader of the National Alliance, she has announced her resignation as the leader of the party, which will take effect on September 19th. So we have more of this in detail for you. So here goes. The National Alliance leader and outgoing member of Parliament, Silveria Jacobs, is bowing out of active politics for now and has resigned as leader of the National Alliance, saying that it would be unjust to maintain leadership considering the lack of support from the electorate. Her resignation takes effect on September 19th, the end date of her tenure as an elected member of Parliament over the last 10 years. Jacobs, who has been National Alliance's leader since 2018, did not retain her seat in Parliament during the snap election on August 19th. Jacobs announced her resignation in a press release issued to the media on Monday. She also spoke about it on the radio program on PJD2 later that day. On the program, Jacobs said she would not be involved in active politics for now. She said Egbert Gerendi Doran, the Deputy National Alliance leader, will assume the role of leader, allowing the necessary time for a positive transition of leadership when the newly elected Parliament sits on September 20th. Doran will also automatically serve as NA's faction leader in Parliament. With this, according to Silveria Jacobs, I wish MP Duran all the best in his new role and will continue to serve the National Alliance as a member of the board and party, working together as one to ensure the continued growth, recognition, and appreciation of the history of the party and improve our connection within the community, Jacobs said. She said in her press release that after much reflection and consideration of the fact that she had not been re-elected, she had handed in her resignation as leader of the party to the board on Monday, August 26, with gratitude for the opportunity to lead. According to Jacobs, I'm profoundly proud of my team, the National Alliance family, for the trust shown in me as well as their cooperation and collaboration in support of my inclusive leadership style. I will forever be grateful for those who have voted for, believed in, and encouraged me since entering the arena in 2010. I look forward to utilizing the experience gained and the lessons learned to continue to serve my beautiful Swaliga and to contribute to the development of its people within the community as well as support the National Alliance Party any way possible. And I take this opportunity to salute Member of Parliament, MP Silveria Jacobs, because I believe that she has contributed a great deal, great deal, not only to the National Alliance Party, but to the people of St. Maarten, and especially when it comes to education. So, Silveria Jacobs, I do not believe that this is your last rodeo. I believe that you have so much more to offer the people of St. Maarten, and you'll be back. You will be back. And especially how, well, I will not say that, but you will be back. All right. So we salute you. And again, I can say this on behalf of the people of St. Maarten. And they appreciate what you've done. May not agree with you politically, but you've done a great deal for the people of St. Maarten. And the years between 19, 20, and 21, when the world was flooded with COVID, there was no handbook for COVID. None whatsoever. The first in history. And you were leader of St. Maarten. And it was a rough period, a very, very rough time, very tough time. Tough decisions had to be made. And they weren't all popular, but you made them and you stood the test. And that's what leadership is all about. So again, we salute you. And finally, in our news this morning, according to St. Vincent's Minister of Tourism, Carlos James, the short advertisement, he called it short, done by Vybz Kartel was not part of a formal government arrangement, okay? James told the Jamaica Star that Vybz Kartel was moved by the great treatment he received and that it was his way of expressing gratitude. This video speaks for itself. The man, Kartel, loves the place, and that's all there is to it. I'm glad he loved his time here, and I'd like to invite other Jamaicans to come and visit, see what he's talking about and enjoy it. Get the experience as well. Are they going to get the experience of a private jet from Jamaica to St. Vincent? Minister of Tourism, are they going to get that experience as well? Because right now I think you're talking nonsense. You are. And I will explain why in a minute. Here goes. Approximately 206,700 tourists visited St. Vincent and the Grenadines between January and May of this year. There were 394,000 visitor arrivals in 2023. Jamaica received 2 million visitors from January to May this year. Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism stated that Vybz Kartel's influence would result in an increase in tourist arrivals and in anything the strong DJ is connected with. You are so out of touch. Really? Vybz Kartel will use his influence. You're stating that the influence of Vybz Kartel would increase tourism arrivals in St. Vincent. You sound very jokey. I'm very sorry. I had to say, you're Minister of Tourism? You are the island's face of tourism for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? I'm not going to read any more of this press statement, because now you're talking a whole bunch of nonsense that have been, and now you're saying you are running away, and you're saying, oh, we did not do the video. Vybz Kartel did that on his own. But guess what? He did it on his own, but it ended up on the government's official tourism page of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But, oh, you guys didn't have anything to do with it. You guys didn't have anything to bring in a charter flight, a private jet for Vybz Kartel to St. Vincent. Nothing of that. You didn't host him in 5-star resort. You did not do that either. Oh, he just happened to appear on the St. Vincent and Grenadines tourism page. And because you're receiving backlash, you felt the need to come out now trying to clean up. Minister of Tourism. Right. With that, we've just ended a THG News Today, ladies and gentlemen. Do join me again tomorrow morning, God's willing, at 6 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time for a similar presentation. My name is Mervyn Hanley. Have yourselves a wonderful day.
Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are 2 locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Vybz, satisfy your sweet tooth at Vybz, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Vybz, located at the entrance to the Cotton Ginnery Mall in Charlestown, Vybz. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.